Welcome back, everybody. My name's Keel, and this is the fourth episode of the Python tutorial for beginners. So this will just be a brief summary of what a list is in Python. So, for example, we have a list here called fruit, and it stores several different items, and it just so happens that each of these items are strings, and they are also fruits. And lists are mutable containers, meaning that you can change the data inside of it and that it can contain various data types. And these objects are accessed by integer indexing, and that starts at 0. So, for example, what I mean by integer indexing is when you have a list of items, this doesn't start at 1 because indexing starts at 0. So apple would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for instance, if you wanted to access the second indexed item in the list, you would print and then call the list fruit and then the index number 2. So that would be 0, 1, 2. And we'll go ahead and run that. And it comes out as cherry. Great. And as you can imagine, if you wanted to access the first one, obviously you would type in print fruit and then 0 here. But what happens if you don't know how long it is? How do you access the very end? Well, there's a quick way of doing that, and it's always you print the name of the list, the square brackets, and -1, and that will always return the last value in the list. And you see here we have kiwi, and that's how you access the end. Now, if you wanted to add an item to the end, right? So there's a method that we use here. And so you would call your fruit, and then you would dot append circle bracket or circles, and then you would name your thing. So we'll say pineapple. And you just run it, and you'll notice that it ran the two things before, but it didn't mention this. That's fine. So now to see if it actually added it, we'll have to print our list. And we'll run that, and you'll see that pineapple is now at the end. So that's working out perfectly. But what happens if you want to remove the last item that you just added? Well, we have a function for that, and you type in the name of your list, fruit.pop. Open and close, and then you run it. And you'll see that it, of course, follows the print directions, but it doesn't say what's happened because you haven't recalled the list. So let's copy that. Let's do it now. And if we do this right, then pineapple should no longer be there. And boom. Of course, it's going to show it in a previous one because we still have the append instructions here, but here's the updated list, and you have removed the last added item. Now, if you wanted to replace a specific spot in the list, let's say you wanted to replace index 2, so you wanted to take orange out and you wanted to replace it with something, you would use you would just assign. The way that you would do that is you would assign that index a new value. So fruit, and then you call the index equals, and then let's just say we're going to name it strawberry. And again, you don't have to do anything, you just run the program, and if you wanted to, you could run your print statement inside that, but for right now we'll just do it like this, and we will not print all of these. That way you can actually see what we're talking about. And so now let's run it, and we've replaced orange with strawberry. And there's so many things and so many reasons why being able to utilize lists are important. And as you go along in your Python journey, having lists in your arsenal of Python is just a crucial component, because there are so many more things that you can do with lists that we haven't even gotten into, such as adding a list to another list. But yeah, and lastly, we'll add two more things, which is the sort method and the len function. And so we'll have, let's say you wanted this in alphabetical order. So you would do fruit dot sort, and then you run it, and then you print fruit, and as you can see, the newest list, not the one previous, apple, banana, cherry, kiwi, it's in alphabetical order. Now that you can also do this in numerical order depending on the sort of list that you have, obviously, but this is another useful tool to have. And lastly, if we wanted to find out how long our list is, we would simply print, and then we would use the len, and then we would put our list in, and we would run it, and it will tell you that it's 5. Now really fast, notice this. It's 5 long, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when it comes to indexes, you're starting at 0, so there would only be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 index spots. And just for a visual, you can see here, when you have your list, it might help to have just a note here, index. The index position of apple would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then of course, if we want to get the end of the list, we can always call -1. So it's 5 or -1. We'll be able to grab pineapple. And then on the length side of things, it starts at 1, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items long. That's about it for lists today, and I hope you learned something, and follow me for more.